We go to Bill O'Reilly, who's got a new book out, The United States of Trump. If you really want to understand how Trump arrives at the decisions that he does, you want to know why he's calling people human scum, you can read the book, and you really will have a different insight into the President of the United States and how he thinks. Welcome to the program, Mr. Bill O'Reilly.
I'm going shooting. I'm going to go shooting, but I've never gone before. Maybe you can give me some tips, Beck.
Are you serious you're going shooting?
No.
Okay.
Not serious.
All right. Thank you for that.
Because here, you live in Texas. If I went shooting in New York, I would be in the penitentiary. Andrew Cuomo would put cuffs on me.
Right.
And I couldn't go. I have a water gun. I do.
Oh. So if anybody tries to attack you in the pool, you can squirt them in the eye. That's good.
That's right. Actually, I call them human scum, and they flee.
Right. Okay. So let me take you first before I get to the new poll and human scum.
Yes.
Let me take you first to the skiff and all the things that are happening behind closed doors. Bill,
Right.
I don't mean this as a pejorative, but you are old enough to remember the impeachment of Clinton and the impeachment of
Andrew Johnson. I was there.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to be nice, but you were there.
Yes.
Of Nixon, and
Right.
they had meetings that were not on and hearings that were not on camera at the time. But I don't remember it feeling like this.
Well, you remember Sam Ervin for the Nixon situation. He was the folksy North Carolinian who was a senator that brought sanity to the whole thing. So we live, obviously, in a different country now. And I say that literally. This United States today, 2019, is not the way it was in the late 60s, early 70s. There is no civility anymore. There's no Sam Ervin. Sam Ervin would be called a bad name now if he were walking around. So Schiff is a guy, he is what I call a political assassin, right? He's not a congressman. He gets elected, but his job is to assassinate people, verbally or legally, whatever it is. It's not to be reasonable. It's not to search for the truth. It's not to improve the country. All right? Everyone should know that. So Schiff basically says, look, this is a charade. We, Nancy Pelosi, myself, Nadler, everybody, we know there's not going to be any conviction in the Senate. We know that. But in conjunction with the New York Times, Washington Post, NBC, and CNN, we're going to hoist a scenario on the American people, and that scenario is that this man, President Trump, is, quote unquote, not fit to serve. So we're going to get the Russian collusion thing up and running. Well, it didn't work, but 2 years of smearing Trump every day. Now we got to get something new. So now we got impeachment, abuse of power. I wrote a little mini column in BillO'Reilly.com and said, if abuse of power is the standard of impeachment, then every single president since Washington could be impeached. And I gave examples. Even Abraham Lincoln could have been impeached for suspending habeas corpus. So anyway, you get a situation where it's all about messaging. So Schiff says, we don't really want everybody to hear and see what the impeachment situation is. We don't want that because there really isn't anything. We don't really have a crime here. So what we're going to do is have secret conversations in our committee, and then we'll leak them to the New York Times and Washington Post. It'll put them on page one. And there'll be so much damage done that people will either walk away from Trump or he'll implode. That's another thing that people don't talk about. They're trying to put so much pressure on Trump that he's going to implode emotionally. Because we know that we can't beat Trump in the next election as it stands now. There's not one Democrat in the field that can beat him. So we got to destroy him before we get to Election Day 2020. And therein lies the answer to your question.
So what is the actual motivation? And I know you just talked about, but I don't buy that. If you are on the left, you know that America, 70% of Americans think we're on the verge of civil war. You know, as an American, that we are in trouble. You know, as an American, that half of the country wants him impeached, but the other half will say, if you impeach this guy, especially with secret testimony and everything else, it's a banana republic. And the other half of the country won't stand. Everything they seem to be doing just seems to be poking people in the eye. The top two reasons that Americans give for civil war: violation of the Second Amendment. They're all over that. They're actually saying we'll come with cops to your house to take your guns. The second one is impeachment for a president that doesn't look like he should be impeached, or if there's secret meetings, et cetera, et cetera. They're riding on both of those. So they know that. Is it really just about getting rid of Donald Trump, or is this a way to destroy us and head us into civil war?
You know, I'm actually impressed with that analysis, Beck.
Well, usually you would say, I don't know, I don't deal with theories, I only deal with facts.
I was going to mock you for saying that I don't agree with you, but then, as you explained, it's not really a disagreement. You just want more clarity, and
Yes.
I'm going to give it to you in a moment.
All right.
But I am very impressed with that.
Oh, thank you.
Because there is another aspect to this, and that aspect is we want to blow this blanking system up in America because we believe it's run by white supremacists, and we want to blow the whole thing sky high.
But Nancy Pelosi, does she actually believe
No,
that?
not her. It's not her. She's way behind. This is the New York Times, the pinheads at the academics in the universities. They said, here's what they're saying, Beck, just so you and Stu know. This is behind closed doors. Not going to ever say in public. Any country that could elect Donald Trump has to be changed radically and dramatically. So we're going to blow this system up. That's why you've seen the rise of the socialists and the rise of people who are saying things that could never have been said 4 years ago. Barack Obama would never have said nearly any of this stuff the Democrats are saying. Imagine Barack Obama standing on the stage, debating John McCain, looking at the camera, going, you know what, John? I want to give free health care to every illegal alien in the country. You imagine him saying that?
No, they're introducing a bill in the House today on free housing. Free housing for all Americans.
But you're making my point.
Yeah, I know.
They want to blow the system, blow it up, and it happened when Trump got elected. They were so appalled, and this is the New York Times even said it. They even said it. A columnist of theirs said, we're not going to cover this fairly. We're not going to try to find out truth about anything. We're going to use our power to destroy the man because he's not fit to be president. And that's the greater good. And that has been embraced by 90% of the national media. It's way beyond the daily ridiculous blather on cable news. It's way beyond that. It's into sedition. It's into undermining the Constitution. That's where it's all going. And now, I mean, I'm not a paranoid guy. You know me. I don't do conspiracy theories. I'm basing my stuff on facts. And the way I framed the United States of Trump, the book was, listen, they hate him. Here's what they hate him. It's not the Republican Party. It's him, that he could do this, that he could get elected without them. He didn't need the press. He didn't need the Republican Party. He didn't need any of it. He went right to the folks. That's the theme of the book, and that's the danger that they see. And then they justify it by saying the greater good for America is destroying him and the system that allowed him to get power.
All right, so
thank you very much.
That was excellent. Do we need to clap? I'm not sure how this works. Okay.
So let me go here.
Yes.
What the hell is wrong with the president when he's going on saying never Trumpers are human scum, all this stuff? What is he doing?
It's emotion. It's emotion.
Does he have no control of his emotion?
Very little. You read the book. Is there a chapter where there is obvious control of his emotions? No.
No, but that's a reason not to have the football around.
No, but you got to understand, the guy feels persecuted.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay?
And legitimately
he's
so.
He's saying that Mitt Romney, to himself, well, probably to his advisor, he's going, Mitt Romney knows this is a charade. He knows this is all bull, and he's attacking me anyway. And he's so angry about that kind of a betrayal. He sees it as a betrayal, all right, that he just blurts. He blurts like Stu. He blurts, all right? And
me.
Does he care about unintended consequences? No. No, he doesn't. He's never cared about that.
Bill, can we bring it back to a point you made earlier? And look, you wrote the United States of Trump. You know Trump better than probably any media, especially from someone who actually will say things that are him. And you brought up the idea that the Democrats were essentially trying to bait him into destroying his own presidency with outbursts of emotion. Do you think is that really possible? What are the chances of them succeeding?
I'm worried about Donald Trump. I said that last week with you guys. I'm worried about the man. I mean, he has undergone, I've never seen a human being in the public arena undergo what he has. Have you?
No.
The only one close is Abraham Lincoln, and all you need to do is look at a picture of Abraham Lincoln when in his first inaugural address, and a picture 2 days or 3 days before he was assassinated.
Yeah.
I mean, a period of 4 years, this man aged 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the kind of pressure that Donald Trump, there has not been one day that Donald Trump has not been accused of something. And then not only accused, but joyously accused. All right? There's no respect for the office of the president now. There's no respect for the process of the executive branch. Everything he does is evil and bad. And I don't think he's got a support system in there, because he never has had, that can put all this in perspective for him.
Well, he also doesn't have a support system around him. Some of the people that he has surrounded himself with are leakers. So I mean, he's got nothing. He's got nothing except his family.
He doesn't have a lot of support. Look, everybody listening to us right now, all the tens of millions of people listening to us right now, have had trials in their life, all right, where they have felt abandoned and almost despaired. If just step back, think about what you went through, and then magnify it 1,000 times. And that's what Donald Trump is experiencing. The only therapy and relief he has are these rallies.
Okay.
Where he goes and there's adulation directed to him.